Hello, I am Catherine. You know I make videos about end time in English, German, Greek. You find them in my website, but also in other channel, Makti Jesu. Chaos is increasing, but our people are still occupied with entertainment, with so many things, because some people don't want that you see how serious the situation is. So almost every day you will read in the newspapers about Trump, about Epstein, about this, about that. Some days ago I was in a city. I wanted to speak with an old woman about Jesus, but the first thing she said, this woman was about 80 years old or more. She said, "Look, the evangelicals in America, what they are doing." Really? What they are doing? What are the evangelicals doing in America? She didn't know really. She heard, she read in the newspaper something, and this is now in her heart. So, you say, oh, you know, the evangelicals are for Trump. And what? I am not for Trump. I am not against him. For what are you? For the leftists, for the Greens, or other groups? Good. I don't care. You are free to be for what you want and which party you want. So you are for the communist, and I am not allowed to be for somebody else. Why not? We are in a democracy, not? Or are we already in a dictator? It seems so. So people are laughing about Trump and Epstein and this and that. Listen, how many spion films, crimi, etc. have you seen until now? If you want that politicians do what the secret societies want, what you do, you take an Iceland, you take somebody like Epstein, CIA is good in all this, and then you bring fresh flesh, nice young people, if possible, small, not adults. And so you invite kings, princes, politicians, future politicians, businessmen, technocrats, whatever. You invite them there. You make photos, videos, the same happened with Didi, not? And then you can, how do you say, you can blackmail them. You must make debts. I don't want. You must. In other way, you must increase the debts of America. You must increase the debts of Europe. I don't want. If you don't want, we have a photo from you. We have a video with you. And how many of you are so excited about all these rappers and famous stars of Hollywood and singers and whatever, big names. But most of them, if not all of them, passed by the island of Epstein. not, with the promise they will become famous, they will become rich. So why are you laughing about Trump? Of course, if you were Trump, you will also be there, because the sins of Trump are all big in the newspapers. Everywhere you can read them, you can see them. But your sins, they are hidden. Because until a man or woman dies, with how many other men and other women did he, she sleep with? Even teenagers, 12 years old or whatever, they are sleeping around. So what are you telling me? This is a generation of prostitution. And you are laughing about Trump? Excuse me. Who are you? So, don't forget, if you don't know, that Trump and all the other presidents are puppets of the globalists, but of course they do so like they fight the globalists, then you don't know much. If you don't know that the American presidents are puppets of the elite of Europe and others, when we speak about elite, all people think, oh, the elite are Jewish. No, the elite has nothing to do with Israel. The elite is from everywhere. We will see later. So the elite occupy you with drugs, with entertainment, Netflix, Hollywood, all these, rappers, drugs, alcohol, festivals, parties, pornography, and so you don't see what is going on really. And what they prepared for you. The newspapers every day, they decided for a Palestinian state. Excuse me, there was never a Palestinian state. Where is this Palestinian state? Where are the borders? Who is the capital city? Who is the government? There was never a Palestine state. The Caesar of Rome changed the name Israel and gave to Israel the name Palestine. So the Jews were the Palestinians until 1948. And then Arafat, some fake people, said until 1948 the name of the country was Palestine. We are the Palestinians, it belongs to you, to us. The Turks were in Israel and in the whole Middle East and Southeast Europe until 1917. Why, Mr. Erdogan, the Turks didn't create a Palestinian state? Because the Palestinians were the Jews. Mr. Erdogan, don't you know that? Turkey is a colonial power. For hundreds of years colonialized Southeast Europe and the Middle East. Why you didn't create a Palestinian state? Because there was never a Palestinian state. The Jews were the Palestinians. And so we see how hate, eternal hate, take over, against the Jews, against Israel, and also against the Christians. Who hates the Jews normally hate also the Christians. Because Jesus came through the Jews. Nazareth, Bethlehem, Jewish villages, today Islamic cities, where the Christians fear the Muslims and go out and go somewhere to live. The Arabic Christians in Israel don't fear the Israelis, they fear the Arabic Muslims. So, we spoke about many things in my videos about the bloodlines of Enoch. In my last video, there was an Enoch in the side of Cain, and Enoch in the side of Seth. Perhaps I have to go to Genesis. We spoke about the falling away of Satan, the devil, the serpent, the dragon from God. He was the friend of God, one of the nicest angels of God, but he rebelled against God. And in this cosmic war between Genesis 1, first 1 and 2, you see this cosmic war, because you see the earth and the other planets destroyed, void, dark, because before there was a cosmic war, a lot of things destroyed in the globe. And then God decided to create the human being. And he created Adam and Eve. From the dust, Adam was created from the dust of the earth. This is why God said, you will go again after Adam fell, till you return to the ground, for out of it you were taken. For you are dust, and to dust you shall return. So we see God creates Adam from the dust of the earth, and then from Adam he creates Eve. It was an affront against the angels, because the angels were so nice beings created by God, with edel, how do you say, edel stones, gemstones. Gemstones are nothing special in the kingdom of God. The streets in the new paradise will be of gold. The gates will be pearls, and. So it was an affront. We are so nice beings, and you bring somebody from the earth, from the dust. And what was an affront for Satan and the angels? The Bible says, we, the Christians, we will judge the angels. Which angels? The fallen angels. We see in 1 Corinthians 6, it says, Paul says to the church, do you not know that we are to judge angels? How much more than matters pertaining to this life? Many people forget it. We will judge the angels, the fallen angels, when Jesus comes back, and when is the judgment of God. And what else? The angels became, must find it. In Hebrews, He speaks about the angels again, Paul. Are they not all ministering spirits sent out to serve for the sake of those who are to inherit salvation? The angels became the ministering spirits for human beings, and especially for the Christians, or for the people who will come to Jesus. It was an affront for many angels. So the angels with Satan rebelled against God again. So the dragon hates, and all these angels hates the human beings so much. It is an eternal hate. What he is doing, we read in Revelation, in Genesis 3. The dragon is coming to the human being. He says, did really God say you should not eat from this tree? Oh, no problem, eat, and you are God yourself. And when he had success, and we see what we see. We see the bloodlines of Cain. We see Adam and Eve. Cain kills his brother. Cain lives without God. We see the bloodline of Cain, evil bloodline. Adam and Eve are out of the paradise, but they have a new son, Seth, and other sons and daughters. They are friends of God still. They love God. They fear God until the 7th generation, until Enoch, and then many things change. What happened when Jared, the 6th after Adam, was on earth? Satan, the dragon leads 200 angels to the mountain of Hermon. If you want to know more, you find more in my videos about the fallen angels in the playlist. He led them to the mountain of Hermon. They mix with women, and we see the Nephilims, the children of the fallen angels. And we read, the women were the daughters of Cain. They mixed with angels, they had children, and these children became the Titans, how do you say them? They became the renown of the old time. These were the mighty men who were of old, the men of renown. So we see the Nephilims became the kings of the earth. They corrupted everything. And we see now the bloodlines of the evil. And what they did, the people of Cain, they corrupted also the people of Seth. And so we see the whole world corrupted. And this is why God destroyed the first world of human beings with a flood. And what it says, the Nephilim were on the earth in those days and also afterward. After the flood, what we see again? The Nephilims. We see the giants in Canaan, the old name of Israel. It was full, the Middle East was full of Nephilims, the children, grandchildren, and of the fallen angels. And we know from the book of Enoch that the fallen angels sent Enoch to God to pray for them, and God said, there is only judgment for you. And they hate us so much because God said, your children, the spirits of your children, will become demons after their deaths. You must understand, the Nephilims knew if they die, they will become the demons of this world. And so the hate against the human beings, and especially against the people of God, became so immense. And we see the bloodlines of evil, mysticism, occultism, spiritism, the secret societies, the secret organizations. They began by Enoch, the Freemasonry, Illuminati, see Enoch as the Grandmaster, etc. And from this time on, we see the Babylonians, the Egyptians, the Greeks, the gods, the Nephilims, the Titans, the secret societies until today, and they hate human beings. This is why they destroy human beings. And what they hate especially, the Jews, Israel, and the Christians. And what we see in Revelation 12, the dragon. And a great sign appeared in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, with the moon under her feet, and on her head a crown of 12 stars. She was pregnant and was crying out in birth pains and the agony of giving birth. And another sign appeared in heaven. Behold, a great red dragon with 7 heads and 10 horns, and on his heads 7 diadems. 7 heads, the 7 empires of the world. 10 horns, the 10 kings in the last 7 years. The Antichrist, the world dictator, will be the 11th one. And his tail swept down a third of the stars of heaven and cast them to the earth. Who are the stars of heaven? The angels. And the dragon stood before the woman, who was the woman, Israel, who was about to give birth, so that when she bore her child, he might devour it. She gave birth to a male child, Jesus, one who is to rule all the nations with a rod of iron. But her child was caught up to God and to his throne. Jesus went to heaven after the crucifixion and the resurrection. And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she has a place prepared by God, in which she is to be nourished for 1,260 days. The part of the Jewish people who will take serious God and his prophets, they will flee to the desert, they will flee to Petra, they will go to the mountains, as Jesus said in Matthew 24 and other places. 1,260 days, the last 3.5 years of the Antichrist, of the mark of the beast. Now war arose in heaven, Michael and his angels fighting against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought back. But he was defeated, and there was no longer any place for them in heaven. And the great dragon was thrown down, that ancient serpent, who is called the devil and Satan, the deceiver of the whole world. He deceived the nations now before they went to decide to accept a Palestinian state. There was never a Palestinian state. This is the work of the dragon, who hates human beings, especially Israel. For thousands of years, the Arabs tried to destroy Israel. The problem in the Middle East is not Israel. Islam can't accept a Jewish state. Islam can't accept an atheistic state, a Christian state, any state that is not Islamic. So, and I heard, he was thrown down, the deceiver of the whole world. He was thrown down to the earth, and his angels were thrown down with him. And I heard a loud voice in heaven say, now the salvation and the power and the kingdom of our God and the authority of his Christ have come. For the accuser of our brothers, the Jewish and the Christian people, has been thrown down, who accuse them day and night before our God. Every day the newspapers are full with accusations against the Christians and against the Jewish people. This is the dragon behind. And they have conquered him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, for they love not their lives even unto death. Therefore rejoice, O heavens, and you who dwell in them. But woe to you on earth and sea, for the devil has come down to you in great wrath, because he knows that his time is short. End. So we see the dragon, and the dragon has, since Enoch, he has a lot of secret societies, of secret organizations who work for him to bring the world dictator. We know Freemasonry, Illuminati. The Illuminati are the highest Freemasons. The Illuminati infiltrated the Freemasonry. Not everybody in the Freemasonry knows what it's about, but you give an oath that if you give something, tell something to other people, you will pay with your life. So you know this can't be from God. But we see mysticism everywhere. Astrology, mysticism, theosophy, so many things. Rosicrucians, also a very, very secret thing. These organizations are not really secret. They are in our society, they are in our governments, they are in our schools, in our universities. Agenda 21 of the UN, Agenda 2030, nothing secret. The rituals they do for their gods, this is secret. Their plans somehow are secret, but it comes out through what they bring. We see the Fabian Society in England. Tony Blair, Keir Starmer, all these people of the Fabian Society. And what many don't know, the Jesuits, created in the Middle Age to stop the Reformation of Luther. The army of the Pope, Ignatius of Loyola, the founder, these people killed millions of Christians in Europe to stop the Reformation. And then the governments of Europe, finally, they made the Westphalian contract, where they said, they wrote, every country in Europe, but also every country is sovereign, has borders, of course, closed, controls the borders, and it should not mix in other countries or whatever, but this is what they are doing now. Behind all these open borders is Jesuits and all the secret organizations. I will put in the information if you want to know more about Jesuits, etc. You can also look the videos of Chris Pinto, one of them. He made also films, and yeah, I will put something in the information, and you know, Chris Pinto. So Tony Blair, where is Tony Blair? He prepares something. Tony Blair was an Anglican, or nothing, most of them, and then he became a Catholic, and he proclaimed now he will abolish the Westphalian contract, and the Westphalian contract was about closed borders, and he is now a Catholic, and I can imagine that many politicians, I don't know if he also visited the Jesuits schools. Almost every politician, every person who is in an important position visited the school of Jesuits, even Buddhists, Hindus, Muslims, etc. The center of Jesuits in America is Georgetown University, a very important university. Jesuit University. They are everywhere, in many universities, if not in all. And now I heard and I read that there is a converted professor there to Islam. He converted to Islam. And he even teaches to the students that slavery and rapism is okay. In America, he teaches that in the University of Georgetown. And they made a mosque in the university and gave the name of a Fulani man. And the Fulanis are the people in Nigeria and other countries who kill every day Christians. And we know that the last Pope was a Jesuit, and we know that the Pope now is a Jesuit, and we know that they have an agenda. And we know that the Pope, Franciscus, and I can imagine most of the popes, tell us that every way is good. You can be Muslim, you can be Buddhist, Hindu. All the ways lead to Rome. All the ways lead to Babylon. All the ways are good. All the ways lead to God. No. Jesus Christ is the way to God. Jesus Christ said, I am the way. I am the way. I am the life. I am everything. Nobody else. So we see how everything is in the hands of secret societies, and they are the bloodlines of Nephilims, They hate human beings, and especially Israel, and especially the Jews and the Christians. And this is why every day in our newspapers we read against the Christians, against the Jews, and they bring about against Trump, but I believe myself this is a trap, nothing else. If you are a leftist or a Islamist, communist, or far-right, or whatever, you go to the streets against a lot of things, but also against the globalism. Oh, yeah. And you don't see that you are a tool of the globalist. So we see now also Greta Thunberg. She is on the ship to Gaza, on the way to Gaza, and she is always, many times, you will see her with a man beside her. And he speaks so lovely, so sweet, but he's a radical Islamist, Tiago Avila. They say he's from Brazil. I don't know if he's a converted to Islam or if he got married, he's an Islamist, got married with a Brazilian woman and has her name. They changed names. You can't know where they really are. But he is a radical Islamist. He speaks so lovely and he laughs always. He laughs always. But when he is with other Islamists, oh, Islam will win, he shouts. And he was by the burial of Nasrallah, the leader of Hezbollah in Lebanon. Can you imagine Tiago Avila, the man who is many times beside Greta Thunberg? So you see the communistic or whatever climate activist, Greta Thunberg of the globalist, tool of the globalist, and you see Tiago Avila beside her, the Islamist, tool of the globalist. And the Jesuits, oh, they love Islam. They love everything that is not Jewish or Christian. But they are in the Catholic Church. They control the Catholic Church. So people, wake up, wake up. So you are occupied, they occupy our young people with drugs, with alcohol, with Taylor Swift and Katy Perry and all the rappers and all the musicians and stars. How many of them passed by Epstein? And you don't see what is going on? Some days ago, a man was killed by Muslims in France. He came from Iraq, a Christian from Iraq. He made videos about his faith in TikTok. The Muslims went in his place and killed him. Was something of that in the newspapers? No, of course not. If a Muslim was killed, it will be everywhere. Some days later, it was fire in a church in France. And there are fires again and again in churches. Was this in the newspapers? No. If the fire was in mosques, of course it will be everywhere. People, wake up. Young people, you are so betrayed. Wake up, come back to Jesus Christ. Pray, learn to pray, to be saved in eternity. Goodbye, God bless you. And now some words to the Christians. Do you know that mysticism is long ago, for many years, in the churches? That the Jesuits with their agenda are in our churches, either between the evangelicals, Ignatius von Loyola, contemplation, how to listen the voice of God, meditation like yoga. You find a lot of information. I will put a website down in the information, Lighthouse Trails, one word, lighthousetrails.com. And they have, I forgot to say, a very good book about the mysticism in the churches, also in the evangelical churches, is A Time of Departing by Ray Jungen. You find it in the lighthousetrails.com. Oh my goodness, your eyes will be opened. Emerging churches, Dominion churches, Lance Waldnau and Rob Bell, all these crazy people who think we will reign before Jesus comes back. Deception. I will not wonder if the Jesuits are behind this. Mysticism is for a long time in our churches, false Bibles, the message by a Catholic monk. Oh my, for many years now I tried to warn. In 2012 I warned about mysticism in the church, and nobody wanted to hear. The Jesuits, they opened the doors, they gave up the Westphalian contract in Europe, they opened the borders, they brought and bring every day a lot of Islam to create chaos, to kill the Jews and the Christians, to eliminate Christianity and Judaism, and to bring the world government. You say you are atheist. They say they have the same agenda for you. Wake up, wake up. Christians, wake up. I will not wonder if this teaching about the rapture before the tribulation is from the Jesuits. I will not wonder. You were betrayed. The rapture didn't come the 23rd of September, and it will not come. Prepare for great persecution. Prepare for your martyrdom. Goodbye. God bless you.